before offloading. James, brilliant. There's the Reece James infield cross. He might not bomb down the flank anymore and belt them in, but he's caressed that one onto the head of João Pedro, whose header made a goal in the first half. It has scored a goal right at the start of the second. And the Blues have their lead back. It's 2-1.
Okay, we've been here before. Let's keep it up. But first of all, let's talk about the goal. Just a wonderful ball. I mean, Reece James in that position, he's as good as anyone in world football, isn't he? Just kind of dinking it towards the far post. That delicious, delightful ball. Just asking for someone to get on the end of it. We saw João Pedro with a really good header that led to our first goal in this game. That didn't go in. Romero made the save. And he certainly made sure Romero couldn't make the save here. Cole Palmer twisting, turning, and laying the ball back. Reece James in that Azpilicueta position. It's a wonderful ball to the far post. But then, it's still got to be one. There's still got to be a powerful header, and making sure the keeper can't save it. He's beaten his fullback. Powerful header. Keeper's hardly even moved. Okay, 2-1. Now let's stay on top of this team.
What a gorgeous feather touch from someone with so much brute strength naturally. We saw a little clip like that in the first half, trying to play one of his teammates in. That was absolutely lovely from Reece James. João Pedro up. I think that is 6 goals in pre-season. I don't know if he's counting, probably, but just picking up where he left off. Meanwhile, Barrenetxea's found Oscarson. Back to Barrenetxea. Look out. That'll do. Real straight back at it, and subtle warming up. Well, he started half the games last season, Reece. Came on in 11 more. So, 40 appearances in a campaign is pretty decent for Reece, certainly. It's still only 2/3 of Chelsea's matches.
Well, I think it'll be a higher percentage in a fraction of this season.
Palmer with his head up. Oh, there's all sorts of options here. Palestra's coming to join in. Good dummy. Good football. Tight angle. An important block from Romero. Otherwise, JP would have had another, and it would have been 3-1.
Well, look, he's our best player at the moment, isn't he? Wonderful season last season. Great pre-season so far. Looks so dangerous now. Assist for 1-0. Goal for 2-1. Looks like he could get more. He's already scored goals in pre-season.
Enjoying the relationships there. Someone's got a call, or Palestra's either got great awareness, or João Pedro said over, or whatever the Portuguese/Italian is. Another little clip from Reece James, this one. That was a tough one. Good football though. Oh. He gave away one free kick. He's been brilliant otherwise, the captain. Palmer starting to enjoy himself. There's space for Reece James. He's everywhere at the moment.
That's worth a pop from there, first time, 20 yards out. As he just says to Morgan Rogers, sorry, but I'm sure Morgan would have had a shot from there as well, why not? He brought that ball down deliciously, didn't he? And made sure he was able to go a little bit further forward. Yeah, not the best of executions, but right idea.
Got a couple of goals last year, Reece. Brilliant free kick against Newcastle.
I just want to reiterate as well, as a fullback, you used to kind of bombing on, and you rely on your stamina or pace as such, but it's a big part of it. Whereas one of those 2 sixes, 2 pivots, it's all about the awareness, the touch, the passing, the knowing before you even receive the ball what you're going to do with it, because someone might be tight, and then the longer passing or the crossing that he's done. Just there's not many players in world football that has the ability to switch in the way that he can.
When you're wide, there isn't a blind side. You've got the whole pitch there, whether you're right or left, right? In the middle of the park, you need those eyes in the back of the head. Awareness, you also need good communication from your teammates. They could be coming at you from all angles. That's the thing I always think that's so different. look at Neto here. He knows there's nothing this side except his coach. You know, it's just footballers that way.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You know, as a fullback or a winger, you've got feet almost on the touchline, so you can see the whole game. If you're a central midfielder, like for example now, you've got someone close to you, you're expected to drop off, take it. Can you do it first, or do you have to do it first time to lay it off, or can you take a touch and get on the half turn? And then we talk about the passing going forward as well.
Cheap turn over here. Soler's overhit that pass, and you see the frustration for Oscarson. I thought he could have been played in far more simply than that. They still look like they can and will get in, to be fair. New look back line with a couple playing in different positions, Fofana included.
I think there's a lot for Xavi to work on. I think there's a lot of positives, but also some negatives. We talked about the stats at half-time, talked about Rob Sanchez arguably being, well, certainly one of, if not our best player in that first half, could easily have been 3-1. It's about sticking the ball in the back of the net. We've done it more often than Real Sociedad, but the Premier League it's going to be tougher for sure. You know, there's still a team in development. Not everyone's 100% fit. I don't think quite you can understate as well the amount of travelling. I read that we've done the most travelling of any Premier League side in pre-season. That can still, you know, be left in the legs a little bit. I love the fact there's 9 days before our first game of the season, so not just in terms of training and double sessions, but also rest and recuperation important.
Yeah, poor things. Those nasty cattle trucks they're forced to go. Morgan Rogers to João Pedro. Nearly. It's a corner. He is on it again. He has looked on it right from the start of pre-season with a 9-minute hat-trick. I think it was in Sydney.
Yeah. Look, he's looked on it since he first signed for Chelsea.
Quite
World
good
Cup. He's been superb. Now, let's have the sarcasm then. The players. Yes, they travel in much more luxury than we did, but they travel a lot further. It still takes a lot out. The time zone changes and what they're expected to do. And suddenly you're expected to perform immediately. It doesn't happen like that.
Left booter, the car making the move, is just beaten to it by John Martin. Enzo Fernandez amongst that quintet of Chelsea players down by the shed-end corner flag.
I actually think he's one of the first players that really should come on. I think he's a key player. What will happen with Manchester City, we don't know. The deadline's gone. We hope he stays. I do hope he stays.
Didn't quite have a full World Cup schedule, did he, of course, because he got sent off. Didn't play as much as some of the other Argentines, not quite.
He still did a lot.
That's good work for Fofana, and he's earned the free kick there with a sharp touch. I think there might, I feel like for him and Barker there might be a little bit the minority, but I think there'll be a little bit of, you know, grief around English grounds for it, maybe even here at the bridge, but certainly elsewhere.
I don't think there will be at the bridge, but of course there will be elsewhere. They've got to be able to handle that. I don't know Barco's temperament, I'm pretty sure he can.
Ask Jim Bellingham about that, yeah.
Exactly, but I'm also pretty sure Enzo Fernandez can deal with it.
Barco, from what I've seen, he's got some chops, let's say that. Here's Palmer. Nowhere to go through there.
Look, I'll support him now as a Chelsea player, but I didn't like what he did, got to say.
Decent grounding, the Strasbourg link, we know, but obviously Brighton, loan at Seville as well, Sevilla. And Boca to passionate place in Argentina. His original provenance. Here's Levi Colwill. Another with Brighton in the background. I mean, most people who work at Chelsea have.
It's a sign they do things well, for sure.
Gomez trying to give and go. There's a foul in the middle of all that anyway. Seeing if there's any activity down there. Not yet. There's still a couple of Chelsea players down by the corner flag, but well, if anyone's getting ready in that technical area, it's pretty deep in it and out of our view. Wins, 13 draws, 14 defeats. It wasn't that dissimilar a season to Chelsea's, to be honest, Real Sociedad last term, but they did win a trophy. Easy pickings there for Rob Sanchez. Pellegrino Matarazzo, Italian heritage as the name sounds, but he is an American. He's the first American coach, I was reading this week, to win a trophy, any trophy amongst the top leagues of Europe. It's a feather in the cap for sure.
Yeah, he actually did well getting them away from the relegation zone when he first took over, then winning the cup, and then it was after that they didn't do too well, which was surprising really, but yeah, he's got that in the back. No one will ever be able to take that away from him. As you mentioned, Atletico and Athletic Bilbao, I think White was on the way.
That's definitely a bit of club history for him there. Palmer, away from one, away from two, but the shot was blocked. James, oh brilliant! Oh, what a gorgeous little lofted pass that was. Palmer for João Pedro. There's about 5 nearlies in there. It was nearly 3-1.
Well, he's got all the clubs in the bag, hasn't he, Reece James? And that was a lovely little loft wedge.
And Enzo Fernandez is coming on. Stripped and ready on the edge of the technical area.
Wonderful awareness and then the ability to execute it very nearly in. What a goal that would have been. Again, it's not many full-backs and right-backs that can play in that position and do that with his repertoire.
Stand-up challenge from Dakika. He's not the only one coming on, by the way. Malo Gusto as well. And a bit more beyond that, including for Ladeal. Here's Palestra. I want to see him in full flow. He's not been allowed to do that there because of the foul. We approach the hour. It's a free kick. Oh, that was close. Well read by Martin. Just seeing on the big screens there that attempted to scoop over the top. Here they come. The subs for both. And Mark Penders as well, by the looks of things, who we saw a little bit of in pre-season. Joshua Champong as well. Please don't be sent to Coventry. Palmer, that's worth a go. As soon as it came to him, you knew it was going to sit for a left boot curler.
Yeah, he's still not quite there, is he, Cole Palmer? But he's getting more and more involved. It was a tough season for him, especially with the injury, but even when he was back, never quite looked 100% fit. But today what I've seen is someone getting on the ball. He's got the twists and turns that we've known him for, but just that either final ball, final shot, not quite there, but it'll come.
Right then. Malo Gusto for Morgan Rogers. Well, that's the numbers, they don't always pertain to who's going where, but well done Morgan Rogers. First hour of football following a fine summer individually for England. His first hour in Chelsea blue. It brought a goal, some lovely touches and a couple of very near assists. Obviously the fans here like what they're saying. Well, there you go. There's your answer, Scott. There's as many boos there as there were cheers for Enzo Fernandez. Partly because of the City and Real links, partly because of the Argentina. The last time he was actually on a football field proper, he was walking off it after a red card. He and his lunchtime colleagues, well, largely disgraced themselves in front of about 1.5 billion people. But anyway, the team who played the football lifted the cup. In Chelsea blue, he's far more popular. Now, what are they doing? Well, there you go. Matthew Harding strikes up a chorus of Enzo Fernandez. And multiple changes for them, as there will continue to be. I'll give you a bit on that in due course. But in terms of what Chelsea have done here, so Enzo on in central midfield, Cole Palmer's just coming to check with Xabi Alonso as to what we're doing now. Morgan Rogers is not. Let's have a look. It may just be the setup, but Neto gone to the left side as I see it. Yeah, looks like it. So we got Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez and Palestra as your 4, if you like, when the defences are 3. And then the front 3 now is Neto and Palmer-ish in support of João Pedro, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
well, now they're all over the place. Palestra's gone to centre back, that can't be lasting.
No, you've got obviously Josh as one of the centre halves, Malagusto, the right wing back.
That's Martial who's just come on. Just had a wriggly run there. Turnover. I should just say their captain is on. Oyarzabal. Spain starting centre forward and regular goal scorer in that World Cup. What a chance for him straight away. Within a minute there. The danger's not over yet. And it's over the bar by Carlos Soler.
You've got to be careful once you make substitutions that you're not so disjointed that you concede a chance. Real Sociedad obviously getting into the box. A shot blocked and that shot over.
Well, just looking at Malagusto looking like he's playing right wing, and a chap on the probably the right of the back 3 with Max Lacroix having gone off. So yeah, it's a Champon and Fofana and Colwell. Palestra leftish when it needs to be back there, Malagusto rightish when it needs to be back there, isn't it? The 3, the 5, maybe it's a lopsided one.
You know Malagusto will try to push on as much as possible. Palestra on the other side will do too. Max Lacroix first game, did okay.
Not a long way off that. Sanchez had it in control. Yeah, I mean, I'm presuming that Lacroix went up to speed. You know, as a decent money signing at centre back. I don't know why I'm making the presumption, but I am that he will play more often than not. But you don't know, do you? We'll see, I guess.
Well, I mean, I would say you spend 50 million, then you would think so. Not necessarily.
Nowadays, you know, Garnacho, Gittins, they cost that. Enzo Fernandez is on the ball, folks. He's going to have to get used to this at English Stadium this term. Whatever shade of blue he's wearing.
Well, I hope it's just for this game, and then that's it, because it's not going to do.
You think it's about City
more
than Argentina?
I think there's a little bit of both. But I think if the City thing wasn't there, I don't think there'd be the boos. I was surprised with how many there were.
Just good hold up that from João Pedro. It's very crowded in there. He's still trying his best to find a way through. The corner is the second prize. That'll do. Of course, when he roofs one in a minute, then they're going to be, oh, what do I do? But again, that's his name, ringing round.
Still don't get why the season starts before deadline day. There's so many problems.
Outswinger, there he is, with a loopy header. You know it's going to happen, sooner rather than later. Unless this is the last time we see him.
I think if it was close, Ben, I don't think he'd come on at all. I don't think, one, you'd want to risk the type of money that it would have to take and a possible injury. And two, I don't think Xabi Alonso would want him involved if he knows that he's going to go. So I think the deadline has come and gone. Fascinating to see if City do put in the bid that Chelsea initially wanted after the deadline. But I like the fact the deadline was imposed. I mentioned about what happened with Isak and Newcastle, and Chelsea hierarchy don't want something like that happening. Which I don't think it will, but they just don't, they want it done on their terms.
Absolutely. In theory, 100% with you. That then gets tested if they come back, and he then starts itching. And he's mopping up defensively here. It's concentrating on what he is doing rather, I guess, than what he might be. Nice feet. It wasn't a great return ball to him by Caicedo. And it nearly got him in trouble, actually. It was a bit short, that second part of the 1-2.
I think he's got everything. I saw him when he was at Benfica, and he was only there for a short period of time. And yes, it was a lot of money, of course it was, and probably too much. But still, you're seeing a really young, talented player off the back of the previous World Cup was absolutely superb. Maybe took him a little bit of time, which it can do for South Americans to adjust to not just English football, but the English way of living, the style, the culture, the language. But I just saw a technically brilliant player who was technically football intelligent as well. And I think as the seasons have gone on, he's been more and more important to Chelsea. And also his temperament. You put him in any situation. And yeah, of course, he shouldn't have made that decision, that foul in the World Cup final. But if something was going to happen, he would have been part of it. Just look at the semi-final.
Well, the beloved water break is the reason for the latest booze. But booze with an S, I might add. Here is the goal by which Chelsea lead. Delicate and pinpoint from the captain. And equally pinpoint the João Pedro header, because he's never going to be able to get power on that, is he, Scott?
No.
So it needs to guide it right into either corner, and he did.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping we see that a lot this season. Palmer to James to Pedro, and that's in, or a variety of that. Three key players, isn't it? I just think Cole Palmer, if we can get him back to how he was in his first couple of seasons, would be sensational. João Pedro has been sensational. If we just keep Reece fit, sensational. We've got really, really good players. And with the manager now that we've got, with the experience in the squad now, with the Henderson and Welbecks as well, I think, I'm holding myself back, to be honest with you, but I just think anything is possible.
Hato there, Steval, Lavia, Chavarria, the new boy. The Enzo Fernandez thing is interesting. If we are to play this shape, I mean, we don't have Europe. I know everyone knows that, but it does matter in terms of your squad size. Because a couple of years ago with the conference, he could play the fringe players and younger players, so that will keep them, happy, you know what I mean? They're getting used. Without that, there is less actual need for rotation. So if you do have everybody fit, let's say he's playing Palmer and Rodgers as your 10s, Enzo Fernandez probably comes into that because he's become a more attack-minded midfielder at Chelsea than he was to start with when he was. You were saying at times he might be in there with Caicedo. He's not ever now in there with Caicedo.
Not just there. He could start there and be there without.
But he will go join in, right? And you look at his first half season, he played all 22 games, he didn't score a goal. Then he got 7, and then last year he got 15. And that's continued in the World Cup. He is now a goal-scoring midfielder, as opposed to an all-round midfielder who'll chip in with a few. He is actually a goal-scoring midfielder now, I think, at least.
Yes, no, he is, absolutely. But actually, he's more than that, and which obviously is the most important thing. The goals are the most important thing. That's what wins you football matches and wins you trophies. But to help control the game, to play in the way that you want to, and the tempo and the intensity, he can help within that as well. So, but you're right, with a 3-4-2-1, what's his best position? I genuinely think he can play as one of the sixes, but he can push on as well. I think he can play as one of the 10s, and he can drop off as well. but we've got enough 10s at the moment now.
Jumping there as well. Comes back out to Pedro Neto. Thought about it first time with the left. Actually goes with his wrongy, which is his righty. For Fana. Keeper probably had it. Defender didn't give him that chance. Yeah, here's the thing. In those sixes, in those positions there, I mean, his running numbers aren't great, and his tackles and his interceptions aren't either. I think there are better players in that position than him, but further forward, it's a bit of an in-between position,
yes,
isn't it?
He's an 8, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
And there is no 8
in a
in a 3-4-2-1.
3-4-2-1, you don't really have an 8.
It's a fascinating conversation, it really is, and one will go on.
It's an important touch coming in there from Beñat Torrientes, one of the newly arrived Sociedad players, just before Cole Palmer could pull the trigger. 20 minutes or thereabouts.
And the fact that there isn't an 8 in a 3-4-2-1 tells you that you could perhaps make an argument you could sell Enzo Fernandez, especially if it's for 100 million, 120 million plus.
And that's the Morgan Rogers money.
Yeah, but I'm just loath to get rid of one of our best players, and he is. And Xabi Alonso's talked about actually there's no set system, even though it does look like perhaps we'll start the season with a 3. 4-2-3-1, he could easily play.
Plenty of power on it, right through everybody from Alexander.
Although there's not an 8 and 4-2-3-1, he could be one for 2 6s and push on. He's almost that hybrid player. I just feel in the way that modern day football is now, it's not about, well, is he a 6 or is he a 10 or is he an 8, and this system doesn't work. He's got to be so fluid, both with and without the ball. Bottom line is, I think he's one of our best players, and I don't want to see him go.
The money may come into it. It was that markup. Benfica brought him in, and 6 months later, 100 odd million. Grand for him and sold to Real Madrid 2 years later for 35 million or something. Well, Hato, Lavia, Chavadia for the first time, Esteval and Gittins, 5 of them. Good ovations all round. Palmer coming off, Caicedo coming off. These fans love what they saw of him, chiefly first half of last season. As Palestra takes his seat, one way and another, we're going to be seeing Palestra start against Fulham for sure, whether that's right back, left back, right wing back or left wing back. But having been there since the start, so we're going a Champon. Fofana, interestingly, getting the full whack, it looks like in that back 3, and then Hato. Chavadier is the left wing back. Gusto on this side. We've got Estevo up top with João Pedro and Gittins, and I've missed someone, Lavia, in the middle of the park with Enzo. And Augusto, good ball. João Pedro's onside here. Can he make the win safe? Yes, he can. Took it as coolly as you would expect a forward in his form to do. 2 for the day, 7 in pre-season, 3-1 Chelsea, and last year's top scorer has lost none of that shine.
Well, it's just sensational play from the Brazilian. And we've talked about Cole Palmer having the summer off. How on earth was João Pedro not getting into that Brazil squad? But you know what? Being a Chelsea fan, absolutely delighted he didn't. He looks fresh as a daisy. He's ready for the season. It's been superb in pre-season.
To be fair, it's a great ball from Augusto. I don't associate him with that kind of penetrating through ball.
You know what, Ramiro, the keeper, is over a little bit too much, but still, just sort of thinking under pressure, angles a little bit tight. You can see the far post, what he's looking for. And can you finish it now? I don't think anyone should have doubted him. He is one of the best players already in the Premier League, and you know, the move to Chelsea has just suited him. And we talked about players and can he then go on to the next level? He's definitely shown he can do that. Another key player for this particular season, as he was. Last. Particular season, as he was last. From the fans' point of view, seeing someone go past someone and whip a great ball, and then someone scores. It's lovely to watch.
Didn't do anything in the wide position, and no one had done anything. And Esteban came on, and he had two players in front of me. He went in between both of them, ran at them, won a penalty. He like, hey. Just like he is now, as he was faced with a couple there, and he thought, there's a gap there, I'm going to try and go for it. 2 out of 3 might not work, but the 1 out of 3 that does is worth trying the other 2. Here he is again. Gomez sticking to him and getting that block in again. And there is also, it's a priceless thing, Scott, to get the fans up, right? And if that lifts noise even for someone else to do something, you know what I mean? And they do love him here, they really do.
It makes such a difference to all the players if the fans are 100% behind. If you've got a couple of players who can get them off their seats and be positive, then absolutely brilliant.
It's a blatant shirt pull there on Gittins. It was just outside the box. Ref didn't see it. Must have been his blind side. We're a little more aerial here. To be fair, Jamie Gittins is not the most vocal, isn't moaning too much. He should have been. Anyway, bright sunshine now for Enzo Fernandez. Why don't you shoot from there? He did it against England. Of
course he didn't.
You knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. It was so obvious. Here he is again. Not necessarily from him, just in general. There he goes. Gittins. He's had a good bit of pre-season time. That could be slippery. Gomez is there. 2 were attacking it actually. Gusto as well as step out. Referee will have that if you want. Oh, Romeo Lavia didn't need it. I mean, what a difference it could make with him, right? Seen so little of him, Romeo Lavia, but he's class in there. Great to see a season where those two sixes are nothing other than James, Caicedo and Lavia. That would be super. There he is again, taking players on a step out and just running out of room.
You know what, even if he doesn't get past him immediately, again, I can speak from experience, when you've got a winger who you know will not just want to run 5 yards, then turn inside and pass it, which is what you want if you're the opposition fullback. You know he could hurt you, and he can come inside or outside as well, so you always have to be on your toes, and he only needs to go past you once to suddenly then create a great opportunity. And this time, Jamie Gittins, who I've been impressed with actually, he's definitely pulled him. It's a definite foul. I'm not quite sure it's inside the box, but definite foul.
Zakarian is on up top. Or Real Sociedad. Pablo Marin as well. Munoz as well for what little time remains. 7 minutes and a bit to add on. Martin here playing the whole game. A fair bit of defending to do, some of it pretty well, to be fair. Fulham on the Monday, Luton midweek, at home to Brighton. Doesn't feel like a horrid start, but then it is Arsenal away. So that'll be interesting. Still out. Gusto trying to bend another one in there. There was talk earlier this summer that Enzo Maresca was quite keen on bringing Gusto to Man City. Never mind Enzo Fernandez. There's an obvious link between the two Enzos. They clearly dug one another big time.
Yeah, again, we've talked about the ability of him. We can understand why. It's going to be on Chelsea's terms if he goes, not Man City's.
Decent work down the flank, important defending. Is that offside? No, it's a shirt pull, excuse me. It's going to be a free kick, he let it run for a moment. Munoz won it. Oh my goodness, he's kept in play on that far side, it nearly went in anyway. What an awkward whip in a very crowded 6-yard box. Thankfully there is a 2-goal cushion, for now anyway. Fuatilia keeping the attack alive, but trying to get his beat to it. And, no gloves required for penalties.
Yeah, a bit worried in the first. See Penders, he's got that one covered. That ball, that free kick whipped in, it was a great ball. Just needed any Real Sociedad player to have read it, he would have tapped it in.
Great work from Lavia, the sort of thing he can produce when he's fit and he's playing. He just put the brakes on there to dummy João Pedro. Esteban goes for glory. They all wanted him to shoot and he did. And he's put the ball into those that cried shoot. Behind the Matthew Harding goal rather than into it.
Again, just the ability of João Pedro. He's such an athlete as well as a technical player. Lovely little ball slipped into him from Lavia. You see the run that he makes. He gets there first, shapes to shoot. Defender gets lucky, really. He's gone down. And lays the ball very unselfish, and Esteban really should be getting the target.
Well, Charles squares it. They're coming on strong at the end here. It's a little bit of a slice from Hatto. That'll do, though. It's a corner to defend. How about this for a run? Go on, keep going, Hatto. You almost don't want to pass at the end of a run like that, and he did. Right thing to do.
Do you know what it probably was, but it was a little bit...
One of them was disciplinary internal anyway.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even, the other would have just decided rest. I mean, basically. Into the final minute, victory is coming. A few more answers to which pegs fit in which holes. And miles in the legs and all the other pre-season cliches. Hope it's not the last time we see a champ on here. I think he's grown again, during the summer. Fernandez, and that's the whistle. Peg back, and then early and late in this second half, João Pedro at it again. Bang, bang, 2 for him, 3 for Chelsea. A job well.
Done what they need to do from a brand point of view. They've got fitness in their legs. Players have come out from the World Cup and still not quite 100% fit. So fascinating to see how that first 11 will be, and I think it will change, not just as the games go on, but obviously after deadline day as well, to see if there will be any more ins and outs. But I think after that first half, I thought that was a very good second half. We asked questions, didn't we, last season? We go up and we drop too many points. Well, we went up, peg back, got in front again, and we made sure we won the game. But João Pedro for me, absolutely.
Umenitumia asubuhi pale? Umenitumia asubuhi? Butia kwani si kutengeneza kodi au sio? Shakupata.
Har glömt bort hur det känns att vinna, men nu får de i alla fall göra det.
Så ser man in i hunden, ndio maana.
Uwanja wa Sheikh Amri Abeid. Kiashiria cha ugumu wa ligi kuu ya NBC. Ni matokeo yanapatikana hapa. Timu iliyomaliza nafasi ya 3 katika msimamo wa ligi msimu uliomalizika dhidi ya timu iliyopanda msimu huu kwa kupitia playoff ya championship. Msimu uliopita
kesho nakuja hapo
msimu mpya ambao utakuwa na mambo mapya, na miongoni mwa mapya yaliyopo katika msimu huu ni matumizi ya football video support ambayo imetumika tena katika uwanja wa Sheikh Amri Abeid.
Kesho nakuja huko.
Na katika michezo ya kwanza ya ligi kuu ya NBC msimu wa 2025-26 kwa mbali ikionekana kilele cha Mlima Meru, lakini kwa karibu ni uwanja wa Sheikh Amri Abeid Arusha. Mimi ni Abwata Ramadhan Goda, full time. Polisi Tanzania 1, Azam Football Club 1. Hii ni NBC Premier League.
and up to a far again, one in his first game.
So a good start for Millwall. Meanwhile, QPR, this is a look at their second goal against Portsmouth.
Yeah, the second goal here comes from Saito, and you see he just gets on the break here, and